Katsina's rich history and cultural identity can be traced to its leading role as the center of learning and trade during the 17th century. It had made its name since the advent of Sokoto Caliphate and even beyond, considering the strategic contributions it had given throughout the struggle to make Nigeria greater. Katsina State was created in September 23, 1987 by the Babangida administration to bring government closer to the people. The people here have diverse composition and unique traditions and customs that have shaped their identity to be the home of heritage and hospitality.
Now, 37 years is a long journey, and you discover that a lot has been done in these years, and equally, a lot need to be done.
It has been a very successful journey because anybody who knew Katsina before its creation, that is prior to 1987, and compare it to present-day Katsina, there's a huge difference in terms of many things that affects people's life.
The state currently has close to 9 million population and is witnessing a lot of transformations and growth within the last 2 decades of democratic rule. Despite the security and economic challenges bedeviling the state, new universities, hospitals, roads, and many rural and urban development projects were achieved over the successive administrations that governed the state.
Look at the development of education in the state, we can see that it's remarkable. There has been an increase in number of schools, that is primary schools, secondary schools, and even tertiary institutions, including the present-day Musa University, which was established after the state was created. I think this also has to do with the increase in number of population. And of course, there must be this relationship with the increase of population and provision of amenities. So I can say that the positive thing is about education. When you take the infrastructure like roads, in the 37 years of the creation of the state, there has been a tremendous development in terms of road network, not only within Katsina Metropolitan, but throughout the state. You see there is wide increase, or there's an increase in construction of roads.
Although the mainstay of the larger population is agriculture, indices have shown a drastic decline in production due to insecurity and climate changes. Katsina's agricultural sector has also suffered limited access to modern farming techniques, farm inputs, infrastructure gap, and limited chances to expand the agricultural value chain.
The challenges Nigerian farmers face are multifaceted, anything from insecurity to knowledge of good agronomic practices, to unfavorable policy implementation or policy environment, to access to finance, to access to markets, to name a few.
Farmers are Nigerians. Even though we constitute about 70% of the population, we go to the market, we suffer the same thing that everybody suffers. So whatever you suffer as a journalist is what every farmer suffers. So it's a very big challenge to everybody. But we are saying that food is sine qua non to livability. People will have to eat to be able to do other things, to even think outside the box. If you are very hungry now, can you interview me? So the best thing is for people to get food first. Let us get food sufficiency and then food security for everybody. Nobody should sleep hungry. The president has said that. In fact, there is an emergency on food security and they are just beginning to actualize it. A lot of work is being done. We are working on soil-specific fertilizers, crop-specific fertilizers. We are doing a lot on climate change. We are doing a lot on smart agricultural practices. And the government is buying a lot of machinery from various places to come and subsidize them to the farmers so that we can optimize or scale up our productivity. So a lot of work is being done, but it's work in progress. We need to be patient. We need to encourage government to do that. Here in Katsina State, we can see a lot of things happening. I mean, 2 days ago, I learned that the governor just came back from a trip to look for farm machinery to help his farmers.
Katsina State is ready to invest well over 30 billion to address some of the challenges of agriculture in the state so that we can boost productivity. We can increase the productivity as well and also increase the income of the people and developing the economic fortunes of the state through the addition of some value into what we produce. We have seek collaboration with some partners in China to export some of our products that has to do with sesame, hibiscus, soya beans, and other agricultural products as well as cotton. So we are doing everything possible to increase productivity in that regard so that we can meet the demand of our foreign partners.
Wannan shi ne kusan karo na hudu wanda muke samu a tan na ban da shi. Ga duwatsun can kana gani wanda muke tasan.
The security landscape of the state in the last 10 years has been so intense and devastating, considering the major events that happened in relation to insecurity and displacement of people, which attracted global attention. The kidnapping of the Kankara school boys and several attacks on several communities, as well as killings and displacement of hundreds of people, are remembered with nostalgia. The impact of these security threats on the local population, particularly in the rural areas, and the disruption of agricultural production and overall economic activities has also compelled the state government to evolve new ideas to confront insecurity head-on. Although the federal government has never hesitated to deploy security forces and implement various countermeasures, the problem has lingered more than necessary.
With the emergence of banditry, farmers were displaced. Farmers had become, jobless, without jobs. Some were killed. They left their places and become IDPs. And this, no doubt, affect the economy of the state. And that is what we are seeing now. The impact is being seen. It's vivid and clear. Go to the town and see the number of beggars roaming the streets. Not asking for money or anything, but they say, please provide us with food. People that are supposed to produce food for themselves and even sell to others are now begging for food. This is a serious setback. This is courtesy of this banditry. So I can say that it's a phenomenon that really retards the effort of the administrators towards improving the state.
As 22 out of 34 local government areas face severe security challenges. Before my inauguration, I set up a committee comprising of well-versed senior security personnel who retired from national security institutions. I also consulted private security officers to have a complete understanding of the dynamics of insecurity and of security architecture in the state. I can assure you that my entire people of Katsina State will secure in the state. Today marks the pivotal milestone not just for our graduating officers, but also for the entire Katsina State, by extension to our country, Nigeria. This occasion serves as an emblem of our commitment to security, peace, and community-centered advancement.
This government, under the leadership of Malam Duko Umar Radda, is poised to address the issue of insecurity in total. And this commitment has been displayed by the announcement of the governor that security is his number one priority, security is his number two priority, and security is his number three priority. That led to the creation of the Community Watch Corps and deployment of other measures, both kinetic and non-kinetic measures. Now, we know that the number of security agencies that are operating in the state are not adequate enough to cover all the nook and crannies of this state. As a result of that, he decided to, look at the 8 frontline local governments in the state, namely Jibia, Safana, Batsari, Dan Musa, Kankara, Faskari, Dandume, and Savwa. These 8 local governments are bordering the non-Rugu forest, and that is the enclaves of the bandits. Now, how do you do that? How do you protect the lives and properties of the people living in these 8 frontline local governments? And how do you also protect the lives and properties of the people living outside the 8 frontline local governments? So this profile, the bringing up of the Community Watch Co. The governor used the traditional institution, the security agencies like the DPO, the DSS, the civil defense, and even the leaders of the vigilante, as well as the political office holders, chairmen, and councillors, to come up with the names of the evil young men in these localities across all the wards. And that what has happened, they brought the names. Those guys were screened, trained, and were given all the necessary equipment to protect people. And this is fame, because from the inception of this government and from the starting of this Community Watch Co, we have brought down the insecurity to about 30%. I mean, that is to say 70% of the insecurity activities in the state has reduced. And this is a novel thinking by His Excellency, the Governor of the...
Unlocking Katsina's potentials at this crucial moment depends on the ability of its leadership to captain the ship of its affairs in a desired direction. Dikko Umar Rada assumed the leadership of the state, promising to change the narrative of the predicament the state is faced by addressing insecurity and bring newer hope through the creation of jobs and reforms in governance.
Because the lifetime of a state is beyond any individual. And as such, all of us, when we talk of anniversary, it is a time of reflection. Now to look back from where we came from, now where we are now, and equally to project on where we are going. Not only those of us who are saddled with responsibility, but equally for all well-meaning as citizens of the state. Now the question is, what do you think you could do to improve for the benefit of the state, either as an individual or as an organization? Now, for us who are saddled with the responsibility, our only concern and aim is that His Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, we give him the maximum support and cooperation, and we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to support him, and equally to support us, to support him, to give us the wisdom and the courage to do the needful for him to achieve, if not to all what he has planned for the state and even beyond, but at least substantially to achieve what he has planned for.
The issue of security shoulders squarely on the federal government, because it is part of the constitutional provision under the category of exclusive list. In other words, the state has no power to have the police, the army, and other security personnel. But notwithstanding, due to the exigency of time, the governor came up or established the Community Watch Co, which assists the conventional security, the army, the police, the civil defense, and the rest in fighting banditry in the state, which to an extent succeeded in at least pushing back the bandits, especially in the frontline local government areas. But this does not stop. But we believe that an effort is being made, at least to improve the situation. But much must be done, especially on the part of the federal government.
Opportunity to list out achievement in the first year. The work that has yet to be done dominates our agenda. We have set lofty targets for security, agriculture, education, healthcare, utilities, and public sector reforms. There are many challenges ahead, but we are up to the task. Macro factors, including high national inflation, fuel subsidy removal, forex volatility, food and social insecurity, low trust in governance, will undoubtedly make life more difficult for people. As subnationals, we can only take steps to ease some of the suffering, which my administration has done over the past year.
Katsina has the potentials to feed the nation out of emerging opportunities for growth, particularly in the agricultural sector, through the intended agricultural mechanization process being negotiated by the state and Chinese government. The adoption of climate-smart agriculture, the use of renewable energy, and the expansion of processing and value addition capabilities are also possible ways to get the state out of its economic predicament.
Fighting poverty will be a giant leap toward fighting insecurity in Katsina State. My administration is determined to use kinetic and non-kinetic approach to solve this problem. We spend about 1.5 billion on complete tactical combat equipment for Katsina State Community Watch Corps. We sustain payment of monthly security operation allowances to security personnel in the state to the tune of 228 million naira every month. This is in addition to 10 units of armored personnel carrier, 65 branded Hilux vehicles, 700 motorcycles, surveillance drones, a communication network, and trackers, and other related working materials at a total cost of approximately 11 billion naira.
The state is likely to witness the influx of public-private partners soon due to the strategic investments being made in infrastructure development, which can help unlock Katsina's full economic potentials. Katsina State at 37, a vision for the future, is to build a state where peace, food security and economic diversification and prosperity will take center stage for sustainable development.
Could predict what will happen. It is only that can only be imagined, but as in for the best and for the better. So we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us to see a lot of those goodies that will be coming to Katsina State. And the rest then is for those behind to build on what the elders have done for the betterment and improvement of the livelihood of the people of this state.
This one, Katsina State enjoys, a lot of, endowment by God in terms of natural resources. We have a lot of natural resources in Katsina State. We want to see a situation whereby these resources are harnessed, the kaolin in Kankara. We have, limestone, sometimes. We have gypsum or limestone somewhere. We have silicon. In fact, a lot of mineral resources that are untapped. So we wish that, the state will avail itself of this opportunity of endowment from the God to make use of these resources to develop the state very well. And we know our contribution will be nationwide. We talk of leaders. Katsina has produced two presidents, late Radua and former President Muhammad Buhari. And we know our contribution in the country, so we expect to continue to play a lead role towards the development of Nigeria in general.
Katsina State celebrates its 37th anniversary. It stands at this critical juncture. Faced with security challenges and agricultural constraints, the state must find innovative solutions to unlock its full potentials. By harnessing its rich history, diverse resource, and resilience of its people, Katsina can pave way for a more secure, prosperous, and sustainable future, not only for its citizens, but for the entire region and Nigeria in general. In a world where resources can be scarce and voices often go unheard, a revolutionary approach is emerging, one that places power directly in the hands of the people. The citizenship budget. The citizenship budget is not merely a financial tool, it represents a commitment to transparency, accountability, and community engagement. But what does it mean for everyday citizens?
Developmental efforts have been hampered by so many factors in the past. The road to development is very clear. What was lacking then was political will to do so. Nevertheless, when the governor came, he came with good idea of evolving or rather facilitating community development. And he realized that for someone to sit in the comfort of his office or her office as a government official, be him a commissioner, a farmer, or any other political office holder, to think for people what they think is too wrong. This is where we got it wrong in the past. Development emanates from the grassroots. What do people want?
On September 20th, 2024, Katsina State Governor Dikko Umar Radda commenced a tour of the 3 senatorial headquarters to launch his community development project and initiate the citizenship budgeting process for 2025. For many citizens, this is a long-awaited opportunity to pose questions directly to the governor and engage in meaningful dialogue. The tour began in Funtua, where a large crowd gathered to welcome him and his entourage. As expected, the meeting conducted in Hausa began with remarks from the Commissioners of Health, Security and that of Budget and Planning, before transitioning into an interactive session.
muka samu jagorancin jihar Katsina ya fada hannun da girma gwamnan jihar Katsina ya yi abubuwa da dama kamar yadda muka saurara daga dukkan jama'a da suke jawabi zuwa tsawon wannan lokaci.
So for him to come up with the issue of coming up with citizens kind of budget, which although he's not the person that started, but he is the one that is improving it. I think the last administration started with the civil society and the Ministry of Budget going around to get inputs from the local governments. But then he has introduced another page in it, where he as the governor, a sitting governor personally or in person physically going to the zones, Funtua, Katsina and Daura, to interact with representatives of local governments from those zones, including civil society organizations and other well-meaning citizens, to get directly from them what they want to be imputed, what they want to be included in the budget. And for him to even also listen to them and then talk to them directly is something that we have to commend him for coming up with. So with this, I believe, since those inputs are gotten from the people, which are supposed to have been done by the state assembly members, they are the person charged with the issue of taking care of issues of budget. That means to go back to their respective constituencies, their local governments, to have what they call public engagement with the stakeholders in the other local government levels to get their own inputs and then come to relevant line commissioners, discuss with them and input it in the budget. Now the government has taken over that. He is going himself directly to the common man, listen to him, discuss issues with him, and then tell you directly that if you talk of this, no, we cannot do it. I could remember at Funtua, my zone, I raised the issue of our road from Kankara through Rwangodia to Sheme. Directly he said yes, it's a very, very remote road, we need to do it, but currently our force, our finance, our resources cannot actually take that, but we will see what we can do. You see, right from there, minds of the people from that particular area are planned or are prepared to know that yes, the governor is interested in doing it, and he will look for resources.
Muna da arziki duk abin da ake bukata. Wallahi idan duk aka aje wani ginin makaranta ko wata ko ne to matsalar mu ta Funtua zan tura ƴan kadan. Ita ce za ka ji daga wannan kwamitoci da za su.
In a response to issues raised in Funtua after over 7 hours of exhaustive engagement, the governor says achieving new goals requires fresh political ideas. Governor Redda further explains the rationale behind the new initiatives that seeks to address the development deficits at the grassroots level through the citizenship budgeting process and a community-driven approach.
I think the main reason for doing that is to connect to the people. The people of Katsina State has given us mandate to govern the state for the 4 years. And we felt that it is very important to engage the citizens, talk to them, interact with them, so that you can arrange. The essence of doing this thing, we are approaching financial year. So it is important to present the budget performance to the citizens, as well as hear comment from them and also ask them what kind of things they needed the government to do to them. Because we may sit in our offices, and determine what we should do for the people, which is not supposed to be. We should hear from them. It's their money. They know what they want better than us, so it's better we present ourselves to them. Second issue is we are giving the people what we have done in the last 1 and 3 months, and so that they can assess our performance, and so that they can ask us questions. And we told the people what we are able to do within this period of governance. And I think it is better always to appraise ourselves and to allow people to appraise us, to assess us, and to give us their own comment. And then we open ourselves today. That is why I said, let me sit. Yesterday I was there for over 8 hours, listening to their comments, listening to their advice and criticisms, so that we can come back home and correct whatever we wanted to correct and then forge ahead, because the government is for the people, not for me. Whatever I will do as a governor, if it's not in tune with what the people need, and it's not going to give the desired result. So the essence is I'm subjecting myself to the people to criticize me, to ask me questions, to do whatever. So I have introduced the town hall meeting so that we have interaction between the citizens and the government. And all the people in the government are here, including the head of MDAs, all of them are here, so that if they have any question they can ask. And we also invited all the members of the National Assembly. They are here, and they will also account for what they have done to the people. And then people are free to ask any of us any question, and we'll be able to provide explanation. And then we also invited all people who has federal appointment at the federal level. They are all here. The minister is here. Other government functionaries are here. So that we subject all of us to the test of the people and then hear from them. We have the shock absorber to take all the criticisms, and we are ready to change, and we are ready to amend. And then nobody is perfect in life. A lot of things can go wrong, and then you may not know. And then if we have seen what has happened in this country during the protest in August, it has really shown something to us that we need to connect to the people, we need to talk to them, we need to hear their feelings so that we can address it squarely for the benefit of the state.
The governor extended his stay in Funtua to facilitate further engagement with the community before proceeding to Daura the next morning for a similar town hall meeting. One unique aspect of this initiative is its emphasis on inclusivity, ensuring that every voice, regardless of background or status, is heard and valued. This isn't just about budgets, it's about building a future together.
So for me, this is something commendable, and I think if we can, sustain this, I'm sure Katsina State will be moved. He is learning from past experience, and he's using the mistakes of past governors to now adopt and check the mistakes, capitalize on their main progresses, and then revisit the mistakes and ensure that he forges ahead. This is actually commendable.
When he came in carrying two qualities that are very good, I would say, that are critical solving this kind of problem. One, he is compassionate, he is very worried about what is going on, how the system is decaying, degrading, declining by the hour, by the immediate actuary.
As the sun sets, the governor reflects on the day's interactions, stressing the importance of ongoing dialogue and mutual understanding.
And then also we want to launch community development program. The community development program is going to be in 3 stages. Also trying to see how those committees are going to safeguard government properties, because most of our places you see government properties as nobody's property. So we want those committees to take ownership of the property, to protect those properties, and make sure that those properties are fully protected for the benefit of their people. And if we are distributing anything down to those communities, we will get out all the details of that committee needs through that system, so that we will not be giving those things to the wrong people, especially when you are giving farm input. You have to give it to the real farmers. When you are giving support to the vulnerables, you have to meet the needs of the vulnerable. So when we have that committee, the committee is such a democratic committee. After doing everything, they have to subject everything they have to voting. After voting out and agreeing by the whole community that this is what is the need, then we is now forwarded to it. And then we didn't even put barriers to the committees. The local committee from the ward level comes direct to the office of the governor. It will not go to the local government, it will not go to the zonal office, so that we will prevent distortions, we will prevent some bureaucratic bottlenecks, so that we can speed it up. And I, as a governor, am the one to steer the steering committee, to chair it, and then the joint planning committee is also being chaired by the deputy governor, so that we can give it the backing and all the authority. And this community development project, which we have launched yesterday in Funtua, we are going to legislate it. I have already prepared a bill that we send to the State Assembly to make it a law, so that it will be respected and it will be abided by.
One noticeable aspect of the meeting was the participation of the opposition parties, highlighting a rare moment of unity in the democratic process. In Daura, community members took the opportunity to express their needs and convey their appreciation to the governor for his willingness to engage directly with the public and assess his administration's performance.
Successful gathering here in Daura. This is a good initiative, and it's an initiative worthy of commendation. We are all representative of the people. We need to be accountable to our people so that democracy can thrive. We are here in the instance of His Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, Dr. Dukka Umar Radda, who sent an invitation letters to all of us, irrespective of political party affiliation. We are here representing our people to ensure that the people participated in the 2025 budget as initiated by His Excellency the Governor. According to his initiative, everybody will participate and make the budget of 2025 people's budget by giving input from the people who are electorates and even non-electorates. This is very important, and it's a situation whereby even opposition party will need to contribute for the development of their state. We are here to represent our people, to raise their yearnings and aspirations, to make sure that they are fully represented at all stages. We are ready to support the government in providing goods and services to our people. We are ready to give our contribution, especially in the area of security. What has been said by the commissioner in charge of security in the state, and what has been said also by the deputy governor in terms of security measures taken in this state, they deserve support of everybody in Katsina State to see that we are out of this security problem. We are ready to support this initiative because issue of security, everybody should keep politics aside. This is our state. There is no development that can be realized under atmosphere of insecurity, chaos, conflict, and crisis. So there is need for everybody to bring his own contribution to make sure that our state, our region, our country is safe and secure for development to thrive.
Around the globe, communities are increasingly embracing the citizenship budget approach, yielding impressive results. The future of the citizenship budget lies in its scalability. As more communities adopt this model, we can envision a world where citizens actively shape their environments. Governor Dikko demonstrated courage by inviting the public to challenge his administration without fear.
I want to call
let's have an orderly, very orderly, please. Hello. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Katsina State, other government officials here present, gentlemen of the press, good morning. It is big to ensure that the space is open for public to understand the achievements being recorded by the current administration led by His Excellency, the Governor of the State, Madam Dikko Umar, PhD, CON. A monthly press briefing is instituted beginning from this moment, and on a monthly basis, His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, will continue to give brief and full explanations on various sectors of our development every month. This is a maiden edition of the press briefing, and it is my singular honor and privilege to invite His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, to start as scheduled. Your Excellency, sir.
To keep the public informed about the achievements of Katsina State government under the able leadership of His Excellency Malam Dikko Umar, PhD. As you are all aware, during our campaign tour, His Excellency the Governor pledged to implement programs and policies as outlined in the Building Our Future document. As part of our commitment to entrench transparency and accountability in governance, and to ensure that citizens are carried along, a monthly press briefing is hereby introduced to address the public and provide updates on our progress so far across various sectors from the inception of this administration to date. Today, our focus is on administration and social care sectors. From the onset of this administration, prioritize activities of government through structured policies aimed at improving public service delivery were initiated through key initiatives. This government hit the ground running by coming up with a well-articulated policies that will transform administrative machinery for effective governance through public sector administration and social care reforms. Such policies, among others, include the establishment of a coordinated public sector that allows policies and programs to be implemented for the delivery of services to the people in an effective, efficient, accountable, and transparent manner. To this end, this administration has subjected the appointment of permanent secretaries to merit-based selection process, which requires writing of examination and oral interview with a view to selecting the best into the public service. In addition, recruitment into the civil service is also a merit-based procedure. The same process applies to promotions for senior officers within the services of the state and local governments. The state government has also ensured the training and retraining of staff. So far, a total of 3,200 civil servants were trained on computer application as a prelude to migration to e-governance at the total cost of 90 million naira. Also, 947 civil servants attended and participated at various workshops and seminars, and a total sum of 333,811,788 naira were expanded to that effect. As a moral booster to the civil servants, the government has released additional 200 million naira as a refurbishment loan to civil servants in the state to augment the existing 250 million naira that is already running under that scheme. Government also expanded the total sum of 957,345,000 as wage awards and Ramadan package to civil servants and pensioners respectively. This is in addition to the distribution of 3,000 bags of 100 kg maize and 5,000 bags of rice as palliatives to workers in the state and local government. To further motivate civil servants, government has introduced annual merit awards to the best performing civil servants in the state and local government services. In this regard, 14 workers have been identified for their outstanding performance, where some were rewarded with vehicles and others were given cash award of 2 million naira each. Government has also approved the payment of outstanding gratuity to the tune of 24,15,813,656 naira 3 kobo for both state and local governments. So far, out of the approved amount, the sum of 7,690,750,190 naira 63 kobo and 5,831,426,398 naira 72 kobo, totaling 13,522,176,597 naira 35 kobo has been disbursed to 2,313 retirees of state and local governments, respectively, as at 26 November this year. Accordingly, government is committed towards implementing the new minimum wage. In line with this, a high-powered committee has been set up by government to work out modalities for implementation for both state and local government employees. Gentlemen of the press, on the issue of social care, government is harmonizing, updating, and validating the social register for the poor and vulnerable households in all the local government areas of the state. It is worthy to mention that the state government purchased 95,000 bags of assorted grains and 72,000 bags were collectively purchased by the 34 local government at the total cost of 10,677,125,000 for sale to the general public at subsidized rate of 20,000 naira per bag. Equally, a total of 40,000 bags of 50 kg rice was procured at 2 billion naira and distributed as palliatives, with stipends of 10,000 naira to the poor and vulnerable households in Katsina, Puntua, and the local government areas, while 5,000 naira stipend was paid in addition to the rice that was distributed across the 31 local government areas of the state. Furthermore, during Ramadan, feeding centers were established in all the 361 wards of the state, where 200 people per ward were paid on daily basis throughout the period of Ramadan. Additionally, the state government has successfully distributed relief materials procured by the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, and they are distributed to 10,450 beneficiaries as support for various disasters. In the same vein, SEMA has distributed 7,128 bags of assorted grains to less privileged, internally displaced persons, flood victims, women, and vulnerable groups. Another assistance of relief materials was 200 million naira was given to 1,018 flood victims across the state. In addition, the sum of 451,800,000 cash support was distributed to 1,067 flood victims. This was done in two categories. Some were given 600,000 naira, while the second category were given 300,000 naira each. To eliminate the suffering of the citizens owing to subsidy removal, the state government procured 60 number buses to assist in transporting the citizens at subsidized rate. In line with the administration strategic policy document, Building Your Future, government established the Kttv State Enterprise Development Agency, KASIDA, and charged with the responsibility of promoting micro, small, and medium enterprise development in the state. Through the agency, state government has distributed the sum of 3.4 billion naira to medium, small, and enterprises revolving fund, while the Bank of Industry and Sterling Bank, who are to manage the funds, are expected to contribute the sum of 2.5 billion naira. The state government has also signed an MOU with Smedan for the use of Smedan Industrial Development Center in Tudun Matawa, Katsina, as a shared facility for textile, fashion, leather works, and agri-businesses. In addition, KASIDA has achieved the following. One, the creation of 542 million Victim Support Matching Livelihood Fund in collaboration with the United Nations Development Fund for people living in frontline local government areas affected by banditry and other security challenges. Two, collaborating with Nigerian Automobile Technicians Association, NATA, to train 3,000 youths across the state as mechanical apprentices under the MASP program. Three, partnered with the Enterprise Development Agency and Pan-African University, Lagos, to train 10,000 women across the 34 local government areas for a period of 1 year. They have also trained 100 women on makeup and beauty artistry. Kttv has also disbursed to 2,000 MSMEs under the Kttv UNDP livelihood support. Disbursement of funds also to 2,818 nano, macros, and medium small enterprises under RAC, Kttv World Bank assisted program. Additionally, under the program of Kttv, the state government has injected the sum of 8 billion, 15 million, 785,516 naira 6 kobo, and this includes operational expenses under the program. A total of 12,916 poor and vulnerable households benefited across the state through the Community and Social Development Agency, CSDA, while the sum of 3,455,540,000 was expended. Furthermore, through Fadama program, a total of 11,996 farmers benefited with agri inputs, while 31,990 farmers benefited from agri assets, which cost government the sum of 3.4 billion naira. While in the case of Kasida, 7,696 farms received additional grants, while 34 farms received IT enhancement support grants at the total cost of 604,826,084 naira 24 kobo. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this administration is committed towards total inclusiveness through effective involvement of all stakeholders. Consequently, a total of 7,545 imams, naibis, and ladans are enrolled and are receiving monthly allowances. Similarly, 10,665 members of ward and local government security committees and 6,652 ward heads are receiving monthly allowances so as to incentivize all the identified groups for effective services to the people. Government has adopted a strategy of assisting victims of banditry through the provision of relief materials, Medicare, and financial assistance. So far, the sum of 739,330,541 naira was expended in this regard. Gentlemen of the press, it is the determination of this administration to ensure that citizens of the state are positively impacted by our policies in all sectors of the economy. I would like to conclude by expressing our gratitude to the good people of Kttv State for their unwavering support and understanding. Subsequently, this press briefing will continue on a monthly basis, showcasing achievement of this administration, while we remain committed in implementing projects and programs targeted towards improving the lives of our people. While thanking the media for their support and understanding, it is my belief that together we can build a more prosperous Kttv State. May God bless Kttv State and Nigeria at large. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. That has been it. And by the special grace of God, next month will be another time for another monthly briefing. We'd like to most sincerely thank you for your cooperation and wish you safe back to your destination. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
yadda gwamnatin malam take gudanar salon mulkinta da haka ne